FM, on Facebook, and across the World Wide Web. This is Rob Dunger on Felixstowe Radio.
Okay, when you went to see your career teacher at school, what did you say you wanted to do? Or what did they tell you wanted to do? Did you want to be a nurse, a doctor, a estate agent, or something else? What about going to movies? No. My next guest did just that. Find more about Luke Penning in about 5 minutes' time.
Today with Rob Dunger.
Now, in the second hour of my programme, I am so lucky to have so many different sorts of guests and quality guests coming in to see me each time I'm on air. It's normally the second hour between 12 and 1. Today, it's a catch. It really is a catch. My guest today, listen to this, a film student, a filmmaker, a film director, entrepreneur, and founder of Village Green Productions. My guest is Luke Penning. Luke, hello. I've got to ask you first, because people can hear you, but they can't see you.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Come a bit close to the mic.
I'm 21.
You can't be all those things and just 21. Tell me first, what is Village Green Productions? What is it?
Well, it's Village Green Pictures.
Pictures.
Yeah, it's basically a business or film production business that I founded when I was 16.
Yeah. 16?
Yeah, I founded it when I was 16.
No, come on. How do you do it? People buy a new bike when they're 16 or a puncture repair outfit. So how do you start at 16?
I love the idea of kind of creating a brand around what I've done, like filmmaking. Loads of people in the cinema bars now kind of appreciate big production companies such as 20th Century Fox. And I just like the idea of creating a brand behind a business. And
but you could have a business first, haven't you?
Yeah.
You'd already got your business going then.
Yeah, I'd started it up. I had an idea, because I've been running it now for almost 4 years. When I first kind of started it up, it was kind of just me. Only last 2 years.
Take me back a bit. I mean, you say it's like, Saturday morning, what should I do? Oh, I'll start up a company. What did you do?
Yeah, I attended kind of a local business kind of get-together events to kind of learn a little bit about the kind of ways of starting up this kind of stuff. I had a couple of friends who did something very similar in the year above, so they gave me a lot of tips and inspiration for kind of starting it. In terms of thinking about the company, I think the branding is really important because when they see a logo, they're automatically kind of drawn to it.
What were you doing to start with? What was your first job that you had?
I guess I had kind of a lot of kind of things I kind of wanted to do.
Was it all to do with photography?
Yeah, around photography, music, computer science, loads of different things.
You say so nonchalantly, I'm just picking up. But these things that are millionaires in America do what you're doing, this sort of thing, on a different scale, though.
Yeah.
And did you find it easy?
I've always been kind of creative. So I was kind of going through all the kind of things that I could have done. So could have done music, but wasn't really there in that. And film kind of came up just because I've loved it for 8 years. I always used to kind of make kind of short films. Not to the scale I'm doing now, but when I was younger.
Tell me about how you dabbled then. What sort of things did you do to start with? Things that you would probably be a bit ashamed of now. What was the first small things you did?
I did a music video.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I did a music video for a local rapper.
Yeah.
But one of the things I kind of learned through doing that is the whole contract system, how you all have to put your clients under a contract. I remember going onto a shoot one day, taking about 5 hours out of my time to do it. And then not being paid the correct amount. So since then...
You learn that once, don't you?
Yeah, through going that, since then I've kind of learned to do things by contract. So when I work with clients and it's a paid project.
The photography skill you had, did you have that to start with? Was it in you? Did you know, or was it something you had to develop?
So picking up a camera, taking photos is something that I've done in a while. The film side of it is... You kind of think of it... loads of different pictures go into movies, into films. So, yeah, it was something that kind of come naturally to me. It wasn't something that I had to kind of work at. But like anything, really, you kind of start at a basic standard and then work your way up.
So, did you have a storyboard in your head what you wanted to do? Did you know where you wanted to go? Could you see it before you started what you wanted to do?
I think looking back on it now, when I started my business, I could have never really expected the amount of success I've got, because really, you have an idea in your head, and I think I'm one of the people that I don't feel like, so say if in 5 years' time I want to be in Hollywood, as much as I really would love to say that.
Hang on. He doesn't want to come. I'll just turn him... No, he's just sent me a message. He doesn't want to come to Hollywood.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things that when you first start out, you can't really expect, as much as you want to gauge where you're going to be. It's good to say, like I've been quite a lot of local media, and the amount of people that have... When I kind of started a business, it was a very small minority of people, probably about 30 people. And then in the space of a couple of months through being in local press such as newspapers, the fan base or people interested in my company has gone up so much.
What made you at the beginning? What made you happiest at the beginning? You're thinking, my God, I've done this. What did you achieve? What was the first achievement where you felt really, really good?
I think when people in like college were saying, "Oh, this is really, really good," because for a while I didn't let people know it was me.
No.
Because...
Why is that? Were you embarrassed by it, or were you scared they'd nick it all off you?
Not that I was embarrassed. It's just I was bullied a lot through high school
Yeah.
and still in college like that. And people used to have kind of this perception of me saying what I did was never really any good. So I guess in some cases starting the business was kind of putting a cover over my eyes. But after a while, people very appreciative of what I did, and as far as I let them know that it was me, they didn't change their opinions.
Why have you become successful and other people have struggled a bit? Because you've worked hard at it, I can see that, but you haven't had the stumbles that a lot of people have had.
I think loads of people say, what is the key to being successful in the film industry?
How do we make lots of money, Luke? That's what we want to know. Come on.
Or video production. I think the sole most important thing is networking, talking to loads of people, especially where I'm from in Ipswich. They have local film networking events that is a night dedicated to this, and there's loads of creative minded people in a room. And I also think as well is taking the first opportunity that comes to you. Like sometimes people miss upon these. A couple of years ago I got a chance to be part of the BFI Film Academy. And as you know, the BFI, the British Film Industry, is really, really big. And I worked here in Colchester at Signals Media Arts Centre for about 3-4 months in this course, where I got to meet industry standard professionals who range from sound to...
You keep pinching yourself because you've got the confidence to do it, but still in the back of the mind you must thinking, this is a bit of a dream.
Yeah. I think when I felt like that, it was I was making a documentary for a former local politician called Ben Gummer, and I was attending my college's kind of media showcase where they were showcasing different films throughout the whole year, and there's an award for each year. And my year came up, and my name came up as that award, and I didn't know about this. And I had a local photographer taking a photo from the newspaper about me being there, and then I ended up winning this award, and I was like, "This is crazy! This is insane!" In a couple of months' time, I would have had my graduation screening. So I graduate from university in October, but we have a screening amalgamation of the 3 years of work that we've put in at university at the Ipswich Film Theatre, and through being screening my film at places like Colchester and my college showcase, nothing beats, in my opinion, working on a project for so much time, being so determined and putting a lot of effort in.
And someone putting their confidence into you, because Ben Gummer's no silly man. He knows where to put his efforts. Yeah,
for the first time, I worked with Ben twice. The first time was through a documentary that I was doing in college called Developing Ipswich, which was where most of my, I guess, fans or people knew me from, because they mentioned a bit of my story on the main, like the front page of the newspaper, and then after that I had like a long stream of emails about people wanting to film, wanting me to film stuff, and I met Ben in his office. I was in there with him for about an hour and a half. We had a lovely down-to-earth conversation about loads of things, not just politics, and then I think it was last summer, must have been last summer, one of his people who work with him contacted me through email saying Ben's wanting to do this kind of promotional video again, and you're at the top of his list. He really loves working with you. And to be honest, I was sitting there, I didn't expect this email. But
were you shy or were you a little bit smug because you've worked hard to get there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very well. Oh no, not me. If you really mean me, but you've done the work and you've got someone appreciating you like that. You must feel good.
Yeah, for someone that's been there and kind of done a lot, especially for my hometown.
So, Village Green Pictures.
Yeah.
Who's it by? Who's it for? What's the purpose of it?
So the business as a whole kind of does a whole bundle of things. We make short films, we do corporate videos, we do live events. I've done loads of favours for people. I've filmed some weddings and stuff like that. So we kind of do a whole range of things. Me personally, I want to go on and be a film director.
That's what I want to know. What do you want to do next? What's the next step?
Yeah, I want to.
You've done all the other bits where it's almost like your apprenticeship with yourself.
Yeah.
But now you want to start, say, focusing on some more sharper things or things that suit you.
Yeah, so kind of film director is my thing. I do cinematography a lot, and it's something that I have learned a lot. But it's kind of something I want to do. Film director.
What does directing involve? What is it? You're standing there telling other people what to do.
in many cases, yeah. But
that's my sort of job.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like being responsible, make sure the actors get their performance, organising everything.
So who would come to you as a director? What sort of person would come to say, "Oh, I've got to find you. I need you to produce one of my films"?
In many cases, it's generally a scriptwriter or a company.
So it's within the industry. They know where to go.
Within the industry, because some people who are screenwriters starting up some might not necessarily know a director, and if they see the work that I've done and think we're a good match.
So what would the difference be? Would you translate his thoughts then?
Yeah. His kind of story or translate.
So I'd come up with this story. I've got all this arty all these arty ways I'd like to do it, but you'd say no, this is the way you need to do it, and you funnel it.
Kind of like that.
Where do you get inspiration from?
For me, inspiration, I think, because through university, I'll kind of talk about briefly. I've more or less kind of changed my film style. Like the first 2 years of my university degree, I took a lot of what I made through kind of personal experiences I've had, which I felt to be quite an interesting tool. So to use, personal experience with a mix of a fiction element of it, I like the idea of that. In some cases, quite traumatic experiences through suffering with depression and the effects that has on people, and basing a film around that subject, but putting kind of a more filmic twist to that. Now, in terms of my film, I'm kind of focusing through influences on one of my favourite filmmakers. His name's David Lynch, and he's responsible for Twin Peaks.
So you're like a classical painter, really. You've got your own style and your own influences, but then you get mixing around with other artists, and you get influences from them and change of direction and tides.
Yeah, I think that's kind of quite cool. It does kind of annoy me now in the state of cinema where you're seeing loads of remakes of old films. There's so much potential for people, in the film industry and filmmaking, in any creative, vision, and I think that's pretty.
You're very definite in your vision yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine someone who's 22. I mean, you've already been in business long enough, and it's a bit of an insult to talk about your age, but you are so sure which way you want to go and what you want to do and what your style is.
Yeah, I think it kind of comes from doing it a lot. I said to someone the other day, if I came out of university and went straight into a job that was completely, so say accounting, for instance, it wouldn't feel right for me. Depending on what way you think of it, you have one chance at life, so therefore make the most of everything. And
is it feeling good now?
Yeah, I think what kind of has got me to kind of feel this way is sad, but after my nan passed away, we were really, really close, and she always used to tell me, you're good, Luke. Whatever you do in your life, you'll be good at it. And take every opportunity you have, and since then I have every single time.
Can you hear her voice nagging in the back of your head?
Yeah, every single day. And getting into university, loads of people, even former teachers, would say you're not good enough to get in. You'll never be successful. It absolutely hurt me to hear that, but
you've got your own back now, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're putting your fingers up to your nose now and going there.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting feeling. At points, parts of my life feel like a film. To be honest, through.
What was that film when we were all? There was one person who was in the soap and everybody else was parts of the movie. What was that? There was one guy. He was the whole world was an act around him. I'm trying to give it now. No, I can't think. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment with my guest, Luke Penny. Extraordinary man, extraordinary film producer, and lots more. We'll be back in just a tick.
Today,
my guest today is Luke Penning, a film student, filmmaker, anything to do with films, and just an amazing bloke at the moment. Tell me about university. What did you go to university to do? What was the aim?
So I went to university. Well, I almost finished university actually, but I originally went to study digital film production, which was I could have done loads. There's loads of ways to get there. I could have left college and then worked my way up. But I feel, the experience that I have learned from the lecturers, all the lecturers are industry professionals, so they've been there and kind of done it. And I think the experience and the knowledge that I've learned from them is so invaluable.
It's a good university we've got.
I love the University of Suffolk. When applying to universities, there was a lot of universities that I applied for. But personally, the University of Suffolk at Ipswich was the one that spoke to me. The lecturers are the most passionate people I've ever met in relation to film. I've met the people in my business at the moment, probably the best friends I've ever had, and I've met them at university. In some cases, loads of. Because
you could have left or done university later and gone and worked in house somewhere, but you think this is better for you?
Yeah, I think the stuff that we've learned, the experience that we've had. I've met another new load of contacts through doing things at university and being involved, and it's such a great community to be a part of. So I think if anyone that is interested in film or anything and is apprehensive about going to university, I totally jump on the train and
so
go there.
So it was better than you thought, even better?
Yeah, miles better than I thought.
Has it taken you in a different direction than you... you couldn't have known which way you're going. You could have had some idea. In fact, you still probably can't know which way you're going.
No. Yeah, I think what I've learned is kind of given me more of a, onto a clear path, because I think what we were talking about earlier about directing, up until the second year of university, I was kind of half and half on cinematography and directing. But being involved in that role in a couple of university projects kind of pushed me forward and pushed me kind of a little bit out of my comfort zone, which I think is a good thing once in a while to do.
You're sort of enjoying that danger, aren't you? You like it. I can see it. It's a bit dangerous. I'll go into that.
Yeah.
But you'd have to learn all the other stuff before you go into directing, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we learn more or less every role in the film industry. You learn editing, you learn cinematography, camera work, you learn sound, you learn absolutely everything. So if I wanted to, I could go into any of those roles.
What's amazed you most about how much you've learned? What particular topic?
I think what is kind of amazed me the most about what I've learned is that I generally didn't want to be a director, but through learning, through appreciating the art of cinema, in some cases cinematography is the director's vision and the script is manipulated by the director, and I like the idea of putting my own spin on things.
Have you got the confidence to do that, you think? Because a few years ago you probably wouldn't have done.
No, I think in many cases when you're surrounded by like-minded people who have a same ambition,
and you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you kind of get that urge to kind of push above and beyond and go somewhere different.
20 years time, where do you think you might be, and where might you be? I mean, technology's changing so much, we can't tell, but have a little guess just to amuse me.
I'd like to maybe... But one of the things is to kind of progress my business. That's one thing I always want to do.
Yeah, come on, have a bit of dreaming as well. That's going to go. You're working hard at that.
I want to... One of my dreams is to kind of win some award at the Oscars, even if it's not a big thing. To do something like that.
I've got a piece of paper on here. I'll put Oscars down there. Have you prepared an Oscar speech yet? I bet you have. I bet you pretended to do an Oscar speech, an acceptance speech.
I don't think I've really ever kind of planned a speech.
But that would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? The Oscars.
Even with radio interviews, I generally just passionate about what I'm talking about. Therefore, if I went up and won an award, obviously there'd be some structure to it. But I could go on and talk for ages if I wanted to.
Have to hire a suit, wouldn't you? Have you got any other ambitions apart from photography and cinematography? Any other passions that you like?
I do. I've always been quite musical, so I recently have been writing and recording film scores for my films. That's kind of been a thing. I've grown up in quite a musical household, a musical family, and most recently I've just kind of started composing my own pieces of music to put into my films. I did it with a film last year, and loads of people were really, impressed about this, because it's not. I can't read music. I've done music lessons before, and I learn music by ear, so I'm very good with rhythm and in sounds and that. So that is quite an interesting medium to incorporate into my film.
Your name is spreading very quickly. If I mention Luke Penning in this area, it's straight away, yes, we know him. But I see now on social media, it goes further, and lots of people know about you overseas and around the UK.
I've got I had a guy contact me on Facebook a couple of years ago called Brian, and he's based in America, and he couldn't be more supportive. I've never met him, but the amount of, even if it's just seeing a message saying, "I'll keep up what you're doing, it's good work," it's really nice to kind of see that kind of thing.
Let's go back, say, to when you were 16. So 16-year-old now, starting doing what you were doing. Would you say go the same way?
I guess it's kind of different for everyone.
Because what you've done is old-fashioned now, isn't it? All those things you used to do, that's old-fashioned. They do different things now.
That's the thing, though. Like, running a business, it's quite interesting, actually. I attended an event at the university a couple of months ago, which was where they were talking about the importance of social media for business, and it was for someone that had done this since in their 40s now, so they've been doing this for so long. And they were talking about all these things, and I put my hand up and said, I've done this, and this, and this. And then the guy kind of jokingly said, "Oh, why didn't you come here and talk it? You seem to have a better of an idea of it than I do." And I think for anyone that kind of wants to start a business or do a similar kind of thing, all the kind of tools are there for you to do. Like Facebook now, if you set up a page, in some cases you can do paid promotion, that kind of thing. So there is loads to do, and as I've said before, networking and talking to like-minded people, even if it's doing really cheap jobs at the beginning, you'll kind of reap the rewards.
I'm just looking back now, closing my eyes, taking myself back, say 30 years. Could I have Mark Zuckerberg sitting there opposite me? Because he was very, very humble about what he was doing, and it was just unfolding. You could be the same way, couldn't you?
Yeah. I think, there's loads of people that have, ambitions, and, Mark Zuckerberg, very young entrepreneur, like myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Who knows what will happen?
We'll keep it. Will you promise that Hugh and I at least get an invitation to the Oscars?
Of course.
Yeah.
100%.
We'll probably press our jeans or something when we come. My guest today, the most amazing. Look him up on Facebook. Luke Penning. He's and his company is called Village Green Pictures. Find out more all over the internet.
When you try your best, but you don't.
Go today. Morning, Hugh. Afternoon, Hugh.
How much do I owe you for that?
No, it's all right.
You're so cold.
Everybody's so warmed up now. I mean, having a guest like that, inspirational.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
And I didn't want to mention his age because he's only 22. But if he didn't say his age, it sounded like any other businessman.
Yes, he's just such a talented young
shrewd man. And every time you ask him a question, just think and calm, and you know his answer.
And decent, a nice lad.
Yeah.
And it's what irritates me when people say, "Oh, our young people are awful."
The youth of today.
That lad I'm proud to have him as a friend.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant. A very good lad.
And he's going to take me to the Oscars.